This week in Foot Champs, I matched established pro player AC Redlac. We're going to be breaking down the gameplay to answer the question, can a rank 1 player beat a pro player? Let's get into it. As we get into the gameplay, of course, it is worth noting that it's Foot Champs. It's not like a true competitive environment. However, when I did match him, I checked to see if he was streaming, and he was. And after I created my first chance, he really took notice and was like, okay, chat, we're really going to have to try. And he was leaning forward. So it was cool to get that sort of nod of approval. So I feel like we did get a really good game out of him once he kind of saw how we were playing. But here we go. As the game kicks off, I switch into my 4-2-2 custom tactics. This is basically what I'm sticking with now for the rest of the game. If you want to see those on the channel, please do let me know. I'll be happy to upload them. To give you a rough idea, I use fast build-up possession, and I do run 100 depth as well. So very, very sort of high press and then fast, short passing sort of style. But off the bat there, he plays a really good offside trap. Now, you'll notice, based on how you normally see me play from gameplay that's on the channel and such, you'll notice I'm, in quotation marks, rushing a lot more. And the reason for that is I'm actually just trying to play as direct as possible. With Redlac being a pro player and a very good one at that, I knew right off the bat, even before I started playing him, his press was going to be really hard to get through. So my main focus was break past his midfield line as directly as possible. This is the chance that made him take notice. The long ball over the top, the headed knockdown. It's not something people less than sort of a rank 1 standard tend to do. It's a really, really kind of effective mechanic that isn't really too heavily acknowledged in terms of something to try. So I think he knew straight away, okay, this guy's definitely trying it, which I was. Again, we're pressing here really well, cutting off his options. Because he is a 4-3-2-1 pro player using direct passing and someone that definitely puts an emphasis on abusing the cheesy mechanics. He loves his kickoff glitches. He loves always playing for that spare pass like this, sending it first time into the overloading runner. I knew my emphasis had to be on cutting the passing lanes as well. So that is something you'll notice when I'm off of the ball. That's what I'm really putting a focus on. I'm happy to let him run. I know he wants the pass. So here, just kind of getting the switches, just trying to hopefully get the space opening up for that really direct attack. Really good cut of the passing lane there from him, which caused me to lose that in a bad area. But luckily, that little bit of pressure from Mendy causes him to play a bad pass as well. So that worked in our favour there. Off the bat here again, I'm trying to play really direct, but he cuts me off well. And to be honest, with every attack I'm having in this game, I'm open to the fact that maybe 80% of my attacks, I am just going to lose the ball straight away. I just know the only way I'm getting in against somebody this good is being as direct as possible, while there's space in behind, getting into it as quick as I can. So I am conceding the fact I'll probably be on the ball a bit less, and I will definitely need to be playing that Route 1 style. I'm really putting an emphasis on the wing play, and then when we get into these kinds of positions, it's fantastic. We get lucky there with the rebound, but it was a great bit of movement there to get in, and we do take a lead in this game, which, honestly, when you're playing somebody this good, it's fantastic, because when you fall behind, people can really waste time. So it can be a lot harder to beat someone that's better than you when they have the lead. So getting the lead was definitely a big plus for me in this game. As you saw, he tried the cheesy kickoff glitch right off the bat. I was 100% ready for it. And yet, despite that, I didn't really track it very well, because the problem with that kickoff glitch that he did there is even when you're tracking the run, because it's so far from where the ball's being played from, it generally switches you off the player you're controlling. So it's really hard to stop. But I tried my best every time he had a kickoff to stop that. Once again here, emphasis on the wing play and then just trying to be as direct as possible. There, I really thought he'd expect me to play the inside pass, so I tried to run it, but excellent read from him. Obviously, defensively, a very, very good player. Once again here, just trying to utilise those triangles. Again, switching it, because I basically want to gain enough space where I can play a really, really direct attack like this. But once again, perfectly cut off by him. Very, very good at reducing your options, not giving you much to work with. So here I'm just very, very conscious of him sprinting into that space, so I cut off that angle. Win it back fantastically. And as you can see again, here I'm playing very, very Route 1. Lots of driven passes, particularly into the strikers as well, because I don't want to be holding the ball too long and then losing it in my final third, because with how good pro players press, you will just lose the ball in your final third if you hold the ball too long. Really, really good goalkeeper movement from me there. It looks like a miss, but it's actually my goalkeeper movement that makes the save there. Really, really good read. Here, I know he's going for the near post corner to Weghorst. What else would he be doing? Despite my efforts, he still wins the header. But luckily for us, we put him off enough to the point where he doesn't score that one. So I think my main objective in this game was don't let him have any freebies. I thought if I can stop him from scoring at any corners, stop him from getting any free goals off of kickoff, I fancied my chances to at least give him a good game, which I feel like I did. Really lovely work from him there with his wing back, then player locking it inside. This is where I was like, oh no, because this is like signature pro player territory, but I'm running a very narrow defensive width, and that really served me well there because it kind of congested the middle and gave him nowhere to go. He maybe could have played it across, which is what I think I would have done. Easy to say that in retrospect, but maybe he assumed I would cut that option off as a priority. Once again, lovely play from him there. I feel like if he maybe got a power shot off near post, he might have had a better chance, but I don't blame him going for that shot type. I think it was probably the sensible option. Here, again, you can just see me dragging the goalie near post. I don't want him to get that freebie with Weghorst. You see it so often in pro games. Luckily, we do get our hands on it that time. Once again, I'm just sending it first time here. I just don't want to give him any chance to press me. So I'm charging the space in. This is a great opportunity for us here. I do the player lock cancel to throw him off. And 50% a great bit of defending there with the block. 50% I think I was really unfortunate. Maybe he got lucky there. I don't know if he knew much about that block, to be honest. We really, really could have done with that second goal there. I think the player lock cancel, making him think we were playing that inside pass to then get the shot off, was a really, really nice play and deserved the bit of good fortune we got with the rebound. But we got a lucky rebound earlier, so I think it's only fair that he got the block in that time around. As I can see, he's trying to bait me with loads of different runs here. Look, he's triggering the inside, he's triggering the outside, trying to give me multiple different looks. My main priority when he was coming down the wing was just don't overcommit my wing back to the point where he gets the spare man. I was like, if I've always got my wing back on the inside, he can't get the spare man. So I really made a point of that. With that chance there, I pulled my goalie across to try and bait him into the near post shot. So I just nudged him across a little bit. And then as he took his shot, I made sure I nudged him back towards the near post. So a good little bait from me there that he did bite on, which worked perfectly in our favour. But that is the first half. Let's get into the second. Okay, here we go. Into the second half. There are more goals to come. I promise you this isn't just like a 1-0 game that I sit on. So right off the bat here, he went to do the kickoff, but he noticed on the radar I tracked the run really well that time, so he didn't send it, luckily. The less of them, the better for us. Really, really difficult to stop. I hate stuff like that. So here he's using his R1 dribbling, step over boosts, all the things you expect to see from a pro. But honestly, you see the way Mateus won the ball back there. I think Mateus has just become like a fan favourite for me, like a club legend. The way he hustled Redlac in the midfield in this game was just outstanding. Another player like cancel from me there, ball roll scoop. Just trying to give him multiple different looks, but I end up just walking into him there. He reads me like a book, to be fair to him. And here he's just trying to stretch me out a bit here now. Now, if that was onside, I'd have tipped my hat to him because that was a beautiful play. He absolutely sent me to the shops with that one. Luckily, because of my high depth, just got the auto offside trap in time. So here, I try to finesse, maybe catch him out early. Once again, doing what the 4-3-2 does best here. He's just utilising the spare man. I feel like he really should have looked for his switch there because I did not have anyone on his wing back. He opted to go direct with his striker and I managed to cut him out. I do a really good job of defending in them kind of positions. That time, I read the shot across goal, but he actually mistimes it, which scuffs the shot and actually works in his favour. So, a bit of a messy one, that. I feel like, considering I was playing a pro, I thought that was a pretty stinky way to concede. Like, I've kind of read the shot, but he's mistimed it, so it's gone in, because it kind of just scuffed it in a straight line. But I think it's fair to say, with the amount of pressure he's been putting on me, it was a worthy equaliser, even if that was a kind of stinky way to get it. So right off the bat here, I'm just trying to play direct again. I just don't want to be wasting any time. I'm like, there's no point me holding the ball just to get nowhere and then lose it, so I might as well just fly at him and try and catch him out. Once again, Mateus running the show, cutting him out in midfield there. And here, again, just make sure I start my attack without playing a loose pass. So I'm just switching it a little bit, waiting until I've got a little bit of space. And this is when we start attacking now. Bad pass from me there. That's what I've been trying to avoid. But again, that's a credit to his press. It's not necessarily me playing bad. That's just him really cutting off my options really well. And I've made up for that great there. Really good piece of defending there. Good press from him again, even just sliding in, just trying to give me no room. You've got to rate it. It's really good pressing play from him. I think, honestly, we both played a 10 out of 10 pressing game in this game. I have to say, I think I pressed him as good as he pressed me. I will give myself that. I think I pressed him really well. Because I put his stream on in the background, I remember hearing him say, at some point he was like, oh my word, just give me some room. He was like, get off me, something like that. Like, he really was acknowledging that the press was really hard to get out of, which is, again, anything like that coming from someone as good as him is always just like, I can't help but smile. I find that such a great compliment coming from such a top player. Again, we've worked that really well, utilising our width. Really ambitious attempt. Nearly catch him out. I'm sure we had him a bit nervous with that one. Now here, it's our first corner, I think, of the game, this. And I just remember saying to myself, just don't mess this up. Just play a perfect OP corner and get yourself the lead with 20 minutes on the clock. So I'm playing the exact same corner he did. Power it up perfectly. I make sure I green time it. And just like that, we get a 2-1 lead with 20 minutes on the clock. Now, I do not think for a second at this point in the game that, okay, I've got this. I'm thinking to myself, like, he's going to be absolutely, you know, elbows on knees, head forward going for me here. He tries his cheesy kickoff glitch, and luckily, Frimpong gets his head on that one. Like I say, it's so hard to stop that, and he's obviously very well oiled with those kinds of mechanics. So generally, if I don't defend perfectly, he's going to get in. So luckily, we don't give away a freebie, which I knew was a very key component of having any chance of a result against somebody like Redlac. Here, he's really making sure he's utilising his overload now, bringing his wing back into the play. Great positioning there. Honestly, I think he could have had a finesse shot on there. Granted, I probably would have moved the goalie, but I was so focused on cutting off that passing lane, which is what he ended up going for, that he probably could have scored a finesse on me there if he greened it. But luckily, he didn't go for it here. Because with Blanc, I'm really trying to cut off those lanes. That narrow width really cutting him off in the middle of the box. I feel like if Redlac watched this game back, he would realise he attacked a little bit one-dimensionally. I feel like if he attacked me with, say, utilising Veghorst's height more, maybe utilising shots from outside the box more, he definitely could have gotten an early lead, but I think he just trusted his 4-3-2-1 would probably be enough in a champs game. Like, just utilising that mechanical style and the kickoff glitches. It obviously, you know, it's enough to get him rank 1 every week, so why would he change it up for this game, I guess? But luckily for us, those mechanics didn't come into play too much, and he's just trying to sort of finesse us with the advantages you get from a 4-3-2-1, but I feel like with this 4-2-2-2, I feel like defensively I'm really good, which is a big thing for me to say, because I feel like defensively is one of the things I'm weaker at in FC in general. But with a 4-2-2 and a high depth, I feel like I really can cut off most styles of players. So that was really beneficial to me in this game. Now here I'm thinking, like, pros always cut off finesse shots because they'll move the goalie, so I just decided to hit one really early. And just like that, in the 85th minute, we get a 2-goal cushion. I'm not going to lie, I think that was probably one of the most perfectly executed finesse shots I've done all year. I just thought to myself, like, a pro player knows all the spots finesse shots are good from. They're going to cut them off. So I thought, with a player as good as Haaland with finesse plus, if I just ball to get a bit of an angle and just hit it early, make sure I green it, there's probably a coin flip of a chance that I score it. And luckily, that one sails into the top corner. Now at this point, I'm thinking I have a chance. There's 5 minutes on the clock, and we've got a 2-goal cushion. In my mind, I'm thinking, so long as we don't let him get that silly kickoff glitch, we're in for a real solid chance of actually coming out as the winners here, which is just, you know, an insane feather in my cap for someone like myself. Like, to beat a pro player, to prove for myself I can beat someone of this caliber, because, you know, Redlac's no ordinary pro player. You know, he's a really top pro player. Like, he's someone that I followed for a long time. He makes great YouTube videos. He's just an outstandingly mechanical sound player. So to have a chance against someone like this was really exciting for me, to actually be 3-1 up with this little amount of time to go. Now here, I'm not going to lie, you can see me being an absolute wuss. I'm doing anything just to drain that clock a little bit. We were both on for rank 1 finishes as well. I believe he was 12-0 at the time, and I was somewhere similar. I was maybe a game or two less than that. But here, at this point, I know I've done it, so I'm thinking we'll try and send him in. Excuse me, one last time. Now here, he actually does really well to cut me off there. I probably shouldn't have done the body feint to cut inside, but just like that, we actually come out on top. We win 3-1. We put a dent in his weekend league run. He did go on to finish 19-1, of course. He's an amazing player. When would he not? But nonetheless, we get the better of him in that one. Hats off to Redlac, an amazing player who would beat me 9 times out of 10, I'm sure. But it was just awesome to actually face someone of this caliber and just actually give him a really, really good game, not utilising a really meta setup either, using something that I've just sort of tailored to my own style in the 4th 2-2 with the fast build up and possession. So if you guys do want to see those tactics on the channel, do let me know down below. I'd be happy to make a video on them. But other than that, guys, that is everything from me today. If you did enjoy the video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and turn your bell on. Take care, guys.